Good morning. Great to be back. It is Monday morning. I am Steve Nudelberg. That is Mark Nudelberg. That is not Shay Nudelberg.
That is Shay Money, which Shay, who were we on a call with? Oh, it was with Cheryl. It was before the Huddler in the hot seat, where she was asking all about how Shay got his name and her CFO from a while ago. And I think his name was Dan Cash, which I don't think there's a better name of a CFO than Dan Cash.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me, man? That was tailor-made.
Good morning.
I actually used Shay in my leadership presentation in Austin because I closed it up with, I said, look, 10 years ago, I hired somebody and I designed where I wanted them to go. And I said, if you get here, this is what will happen. And I gave him autonomy to do it, make it happen. If you mess up, we'll deal with it. We'll learn from it, So, the people that I was talking to in the morning, they were all going from hunters to leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And that transition is really hard. So there's so much to talk about this.
Well, you did a double header while you were in Austin, right?
I did a double header. Yeah.
Good for you.
Here's the thing. This is so crazy. So I get hired to do the keynote and they're putting together their agenda. And then I get a call that says, hey, listen, we have a morning meeting prior to the kickoff of the whole event. And it's going to be about 20 some odd people that are making this jump. Would you talk to them? Well, I didn't realize that 20 was actually 50 and it was in a room that was like on stage. And, but I was prepared. And here's the thing. I did more than I was asked. And it worked out great. It was fantastic. So let me just tell you the things I want to talk about today. I want to talk about Austin. I want to talk about Adele.
Unbelievable.
I want to talk about playoffs, and I want to talk about Cheryl Woods. Rock and roll, start anywhere you want.
Let's talk about Austin. Talk about the experience and the trip while you were there, and then we'll move to Adele.
So I'd never been there, which was kind of neat, at my stage of the game to actually go first time somewhere. We get to the airport, and who's sitting in the Starbucks lounge? Andrea Sakinakis. So
that's amazing.
So I walk up, sit down next to her. There's nobody in the Starbucks. I walk up, sit right next to her on this couch seat, and goes, "Is this seat taken?" I thought her husband was going to punch me, man. I didn't know. So it's really cool. They go back and forth. Then we got a call from Tim Anderson, and it was like just so cool. Tim is a huddler. Tim is
great.
He comes from the left coast, and we had never met in person. So he came to my morning keynote. We walked for breakfast, and then he took his flight back. So, started off Austin, with some great friends. The people from AMBA treated me like I was, the rock star that I am. It was really
the
cool.
Stage looked beautiful. I mean, it looked like a really well done event. I didn't know much about them as a company prior to you working with them, but the stage, the audio, the visual, it all looked absolutely first class. And it would appear that the message resonated really well with everybody because of the feedback.
So here's the thing. So I do the morning one, we take a break, we walk with Tim, we go to lunch, go get tacos. Jake is the best to travel with because he says, I got a place. Now, imagine it's 25 degrees outside, man. We're walking. Might not have been that cold. Might have been 35. We get to this place, and it's basically in a place I wouldn't walk if I didn't know where I was going. What I mean? We walk in, and I'm like, I don't know. Jake looks at me, and he goes, when are you going to learn to trust me? The most badass tacos ever, breakfast tacos.
Love that.
We asked the guy behind the counter who looked like he just jumped off of Sons of Anarchy, what should we have? And he goes, get the cactus. Cactus was insane.
Welcome to Texas, baby.
So then we come back, we rest, and then I did my opening to their event at 4:30. And some people that were there in the morning said, dude, you were great yesterday. I go, it wasn't yesterday. It was this morning.
It was this morning.
Anyway, then I get up on stage, I do my thing, and they said there'll be books available for everybody, and Steve is willing to sign them. It's like I'd
Yeah.
actually alter my signature. I usually put thanks for being on the ball. I just put stay on the ball, stay on the ball, stay on the ball. So it was awesome, well received, great conversation, great follow up. But when you hit a nerve, when you impact people, there's nothing
It's the
better.
best feeling in the world.
Speaking of impact, let's stay on the A's. You got to sit in the same room with the
So I didn't even realize this. It was her final opening night. She had actually been on break for 10 weeks, and this is the start of her final shows in Vegas to the end of her residency. And I mean, there's no words to describe how absolutely unbelievable it was. She a single piano and some backup singers for the majority of the concert, had a band for a few of her upbeat tempo ones, but the majority of her music are piano ballads. And she walked out, she did the entire show barefoot and in this
Really? Oh, I
beautiful
didn't hear that.
long black gown. And it was at the Caesars Coliseum, which the venue is fantastic. I mean, absolutely absurd. And the production of the show with the pictures and the lighting, and that was all unbelievable. But she could have been on stage by herself for 5 hours, and I would have stayed there to watch all of it. Her voice was absolutely, I mean, angelic. I don't even know how to give words to really describe how
Wow.
absolutely incredible it was, but also her humility and the ability to connect with the audience. And she does something very cool where she reserves 2 seats in the front and she pulls somebody from the rafters every single night and moves them down to the front and makes their night. And she has a
Night.
conversation with
Makes their
them.
night. Makes their like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me, man? It's crazy.
Yeah. So just absolutely an unbelievable experience. And so I would
We
highly
can do we
suggest.
can do the whole show about this because I said this to Jake. You just can't go to a concert anymore. You got to make a real commitment
Right.
financially to go. Like
No,
none of
no,
it.
it's just not a cheap weekend. Like, first of all, getting out to Vegas, the flight out to Vegas, and then we stayed at the Four Seasons, which was a beautiful property and unbelievable service, like it always is for Four Seasons. But yeah, I mean, the concert itself was a ridiculous price to get in the building. Forget about where we sat and what it is to get in the building. But it was worth every penny, and it would have been really easy to say no to that trip. It was last minute. It was on, the end of a week and just real quick turnaround, but we didn't. We did it, and she was fantastic. So it was a great,
I think
great,
the
great
takeaway
trip.
is, in life, there's always regrets. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, man. That's not, you did it. You own
Don't
it.
say yes to everything, but when you do something that makes you, it's like, it's kind of uncomfortable, say yes.
Love
Absolutely say
it.
yes.
Two last things. Let's start with football. I think the NFL got it right. 4 really good games.
Yeah, I mean, if college football could learn anything from the NFL, is their playoff system works.
Fantastic,
Unbelievable,
fantastic 2 days of
unbelievable quality of game, and I mean, watching Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen go at it, again for another time in our lifetime, and to see Pat Mahomes come out on top again, incredible. But from watching the weekend, I would tell you, I think the pick is still going to be the Ravens versus the Niners. Both those teams look ridiculously good.
Yeah, really, really good. Wide right? Seriously? You talk
Oh,
about scripts? I mean, like
to be a Bills fan is about as bad as it gets.
that's about as bad as it gets, unfortunately. And then we'll close our little chat session this morning with I was unable to see Friday's Huddler in the hot seat, but I know that you and Cheryl mixed it up. So give us a little update.
She was fantastic. I think everybody in the Huddler seats got something out of it. She spoke about passion. She spoke about coaching in sports and time management and priorities. So you could take everything that she said, and sure, it's worked for her to become the CEO of the YMCA of South Florida. but you could take what she talked about and apply it to anybody's business or anybody's life, and it's a no-brainer to help you be successful. So Melissa Graves says she was great. She really was, and looking forward to doing more work with her.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome Gino. Good to see you. Mike Ficara. Always a pleasure. Christian White, Ed Dyke, Scott Garber. Let's roll. Wake this thing up, Shay. All right. Welcome to Monday, the 22nd. What the hell happened in January, dude? Man?
Everybody keeps saying that, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this has been a long ass month. Like, I feel like New Year's was 3 years ago. And
so when they were talking about the Chiefs Dolphins game, that was like
right. Right, it was weeks ago, right? What do you mean that was last weekend?
Man.
Right.
Ancient history, man. Crazy. So, as we like to do, we're getting back in the routine. We like to start every day with daily affirmation. Boy, did the audience resonate with that when I spoke about it. So, Shay, show me today's, and I will read it. I don't compare myself to others. The only person I compare myself is the person I was yesterday. Drop the mic. And as long as the person I am today is even the tiniest bit better than the person I was yesterday, I am meeting my own definition of success. Now, Mark, you talk about 1%, and 1% is easy to talk about. I think that quote lives on top of 1% because you do not get better 1% every day.
Correct. It's that little bit, and it's if you can look back yesterday and say, all right, here's the little bit of improvement I made. But I think that affirmation is so important in today's world because of social media. And it's so easy to compare yourself to everything that you are inundated with and all of these other images and videos and information that it's if you don't understand how to separate taking what people are telling you and using it as a roadmap and not using it as comparison, it's a dangerous, slippery slope. So I love that affirmation as a reminder of I can look to other people for examples of what to do, but I can't look to other people for what I'm supposed to look like or sound like.
I like your point. I mean, it's so easy to get caught up in, cars, planes, dinners, vacations,
whatever it is, bodies. I mean, if
you
you're
don't
looking at
know
fitness
influencers, you don't know what someone else is fighting, and everybody's fighting something. So, it's not always what it appears to be. Genuine and authentic works. While we were at dinner, Jake and I had dinner, the Friday night, and one of the people in the audience walked by like sheepishly and said, "Hey, do you mind if I interrupt? I got a question." And he was asking us a very specific question. And he said, "I just got to tell you," he goes, "you were so genuine up there. You were so real that I could have listened to you forever. You didn't feel like a speaker." That's what works in this world. That's what works, man. You want to connect with people, in that genuine, authentic space. So we'll shift gears. I have a did you know, which is a doozy. You did not know, Shay did not know, Jake did not know, I did not know. So here we go. Do you know what company Geico stands for? It's an acronym.
It's an acronym. First of all, I didn't even know it was an acronym. It makes sense to me now that I know it's an acronym. Because I'm like, what is the word Geico mean? What is it for? And I mean, I had no idea prior to reading this article, but it makes sense to me now that I know what it is.
So does anybody know? I'll give a few
Leave it up to the audience. Yeah, you got to let the time delay hit.
I'll give you the backdrop. This comes through the lens of Warren Buffett. Now, I choose to take Warren Buffett and read everything I can about him from young to old to every day to, success leaves clues. Look at Melissa. Look at Ryan. Oh, so you guys are quick on the Google thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, Ryan got it. Melissa nailed it quick. I love it.
Very nice.
Jeff Bishop, General Electric Insurance Company. Great guess.
Gary Cedar, welcome back. Good to see you. No idea.
Yeah.
Either. So this comes through the lens of Warren Buffett, and it talks about a couple of things. Warren Buffett tried to get into Harvard. He was rejected. And instead of boom, he goes to Columbia. He searches out this guy, Benjamin Graham, who wrote a book called The Intelligent Investor. And Buffett spends a ton of time with him. This is validation. Like, your life is determined by the people that you hang out with. Yep. So he hangs out with this guy, Benjamin. Benjamin tells him about Geico, this company. Well, one day, on a Saturday morning, Warren Buffett gets up and says, I'm going to take the train to D.C. to where Geico is based. You probably didn't know they were based there, hence government. Okay, so he's walking around. He sees a janitor, and the janitor says, hey, is there anybody here for me to talk to? There's only one guy. Boom. He goes down to this hall. He meets this guy. This guy turns out later on to be the CEO, becomes the CEO. Why? Because he was working on Saturday. So I just love it, So anyway, long story short, he meets this guy. He gets fascinated by it. He buys shares in it. He buys shares for his aunt. And, old Jed's a millionaire.
It continues to grow, and that's a part of Warren Buffett's unbelievable story. But yeah, I think, the story, first of all, I had no idea. Government Employees Insurance Company, which I guess the CO is for company.
Right, correct.
Crazy.
It. So 2 takeaways there. Not getting what you want, Harvard, turned out to be a big blessing, because if he had went to Harvard, he wouldn't have met this professor.
Wouldn't have sent him down that path of meeting people and learning about Geico.
And feel good about who's in front of you, not behind you. So I love all that. That's really good. And then they can't say yes if you don't ask, which is just so absolutely game-changingly powerful. Hey, I think that's something we can clap our hands to. Shay, give me motivational music.
Turn it up. Somebody save your soul, 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control. You like a drug to me, a luxury, my sugar and gold. I want the good life every good night, you're a hot one to hold. 'Cause you don't even know I can make your hands clap. Said I can make your hands clap. Somebody save your soul, 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control. You like a drug to me, a luxury, my sugar and gold. I want your sex and your affection when they're holding you close. 'Cause you don't even know I can make your hands clap. Said I can make your hands clap. Every night when the stars come out, am I the only living soul around? Need to believe you could hold me down, 'cause I'm in need of something good right now. We could be screaming till the sun comes out, and when we wake we'd be the only sound. Get on my knees and say your friend change round. That I can make your hands clap.
Woo! Good morning. So I'm going to give you multiple choice. There's 2 pieces of content left. One is Mr. Bradley, who talks about Friends, and Seth Godin, who talks about I didn't get in. So you tell me which one.
We can go with Brad and Friends, but I mean, can we bring up this real quick? Jonathan Aarons asked the question, did you know NERF is an acronym?
I did not.
So NERF is a company, right? I mean, Nerf guns, Nerf balls.
Nerf ball,
right. Do you want to take a crack at what you think NERF stands for?
I don't.
And I'd leave that to the audience. Thank you, Jonathan Aarons, for the question today. I love it.
full-on participation.
I know this. I know this.
You know this yet?
I know this. Yeah.
Nerf.
It makes sense if you think about what they make. It makes a lot of sense.
I don't know. Go.
Non-expanding recreational foam. It's what the material is. They named the company after the material that they had created. Oh, I love it. Never ending fun. I love that.
Oh, that actually works because nervous. That's
awesome.
That's really cool.
All right, so let's go Bradley. Let's go
Bradley. Give me some Bradley.
First sign that you might need a new friend is when they're constantly pessimistic and negative. Another sign is when they refuse to level up. If you have a friend that just wants to remain the same, keep hanging around that friend and you're going to remain the same. And then last but not least, man, one that's jealous, one that gossips, one that constantly spreads rumors and is interested in gossip. Because if they're interested in gossip, that means they like drama. And if they can't find drama, they'll create it. You don't need any drama in your life. So let's recap. What was the first reason to get a new friend? You remember? So you don't even remember these valuable lessons.
That's fantastic.
So
fantastic. I love the idea. You know, I mean, I think it's as true as it gets. And you know, when you don't pay
what was the first one? What was the first
one? Was if they don't want to level up, they don't want to get better.
Pessimistic, man. People bringing you
down.
I
thought pessimistic was the second one.
Maybe so. You know, I mean, I think the greatest one is the ones who are looking for drama. There are freaking drama queens everywhere, man. You know, and if you in the drama is non-productive.
Yeah, I mean, there's some saying that talks about, you know, you tell me more about yourself by how you talk about other people or something like that. But to me, if you and I are in a conversation and the majority of the conversation is spent with you talking about other people, I immediately have an idea of the way you spend your time, what you choose thinking, what you're thinking about. And I have to take responsibility for removing myself from the conversation, from changing the conversation, and from then setting boundaries to not allow you to affect the way I think and the way I think about people and talk about people. So, you know, you have to take that responsibility of the people around you because they're part of the inputs that we talk about, you know? Daily affirmation is a mindset behavior.
Here's the other side. If you're with somebody and they are talking about somebody else in a negative way, it's only a matter of time before they're talking about you to somebody else. So, you know, it's like, so, you know, if you can keep boundaries and keep those people away, those, you know, vampires, if you will, energy vampires, because to Jonathan's point, it's exhausting. There's no need for drama. Just be real, you know, be yourself, you know, wish people well. I don't want to speak that into the universe. And I will tell you, it's very hard because you can easily get caught up in this guy's a douchebag, this woman's, you know.
And most people just don't know how to navigate that conversation. Most people don't know how to set a boundary there. Right. Most people don't know how to eloquently move the topic to something else or to say, hey, yeah, I totally understand. But, you know, I'm not really going to engage in that conversation. I don't really know them that well.
How do you do that politely without alienating somebody?
Right. So you can acknowledge what they're saying, right? So the first part is to hear them and go, yeah, I hear you. I get it, you know, but then you got to figure out.
Oh, that was a really good thought that we missed, you know. So for me, he's frozen. So for me, you know, the idea is I'd say to people, there's two sides to every story. So there you have it. Wonderful day. Hopefully Mark is not frozen anymore. We will unfreeze him. He will be here tomorrow with Miss Lori. You'll see me again on Wednesday with Lori and my fun feature with Kim Sarney. So make it a great day. Let's get down.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. Friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business.